Greetings to all. In this video, we are going to understand 25 multiple choice questions from grammar translation method. In this video, we are going to understand 25 multiple choice questions from the grammar translation method. Question number 1. What is the primary focus of the grammar translation method? Option A, speaking and listening skills. Option B, reading and writing skills. Option C, cultural immersion. Option D, vocabulary memorization. What is the primary focus of the grammar translation method? Option B, reading and writing skills. Question number 2. In the grammar translation method, how are vocabulary and grammar typically presented? Option A, through immersion activities. Option B, through deductive reasoning and explicit rules. Option C, through communicative tasks. Option D, through authentic materials. In the grammar translation method, how are vocabulary and grammar typically presented? Option B, through deductive reasoning and explicit rules. Question number 3. Which of the following best describes the role of the teacher in the grammar translation method? Option A, facilitator of communication. Option B, guide in deductive reasoning and rule explanations. Option C, organizer of immersive activities. Option D, observer of student interactions. Which of the following best describes the role of the teacher in the grammar translation method? The correct answer is option B, guide in deductive reasoning and rule explanations. Question number 4. What is the main goal of using translation exercises in the grammar translation method? Option A, to reinforce grammar rules. Option B, to develop oral communication skills. Option C, to focus on vocabulary acquisition. Option D, to encourage creative writing. What is the main goal of using translation exercises in the grammar translation method? The correct answer is option A, to reinforce grammar rules. Question number 5. The grammar translation method is often associated with the teaching of which subjects? Option A, mathematics and science. Option B, language and literature. Option C, physical education. And option D, social studies. The correct answer is option B, language and literature. Question number 6. Which historical period saw the widespread use and popularity of the grammar translation method? Option A, 19th century. Option B, 20th century. Option C, 21st century. Option D, 18th century. The correct answer is option A, 19th century. Question number 7. In the grammar translation method, what is the role of the native language? Language 1. Option A, it is avoided at all costs. Option B, it is used as a medium of instruction and for translation. Option C, it is only used for speaking activities. Option D, it is the primary language of communication in the classroom. The correct answer is option B. It is used as a medium of instruction and for translation. Question number 8. Which language skills are often neglected in the grammar translation method? Option A, speaking and listening. Option B, reading and writing. Option C, vocabulary acquisition. Option D, cultural awareness. The correct answer is option A, speaking and listening. Question number 9. What criticism is often directed towards the grammar translation method? Option A, it lacks a focus on grammar rules. Option B, it neglects translation skills. Option C, it fails to develop communicative competence. Option D, it overemphasizes oral communication. The correct answer is option C, it fails to develop communicative competence. Question number 10. What type of tags are commonly used in the grammar translation method? Option A, authentic materials. Option B, simple and graded readers. Option C, newspapers and magazines. Option D, video scripts. Correct answer is option B, simple and graded readers. Question number 11. What is the primary source of text used in the grammar translation method? Option A, authentic materials. Option B, contemporary literature. Option C, simplified and graded text. Option D, multimedia resources. Correct answer is option C, simplified and graded text. Question number 12. Which language learning skill is emphasized in the grammar translation method? Option A, speaking. Option B, listening. Option C, reading. Option D, writing. The correct answer is option C, reading. Question number 13. What is the role of translation in the grammar translation method? Option A, it is avoided entirely. Option B, it is used only for vocabulary. Option C, it is a central activity for learning language. Option D, it is used solely for cultural understanding. What is the role of translation in the grammar translation method? The correct answer is option C. It is a central activity for learning language. Question number 14. How are vocabulary and grammar presented in the grammar translation method? Option A, through conversation and dialogue. Option B, through explicit rules and deductive reasoning. Option C, through immersive activities. Option D, through communicative tasks. The correct answer is option B, through explicit rules and deductive reasoning. Question number 15. What is the view on the use of the native language in the grammar translation method? Option A, it should be avoided. Option B, it is encouraged for communication. Option C, it is used solely for translation. Option D, it is the primary language of instruction. The correct answer is option C. It is used solely for translation. Question number 16. What historical period saw a shift away from the grammar translation method? Option A, Renaissance. Option B, Enlightenment. Option C, Romanticism. Option D, Industrial Revolution. Check the correct answer. Option C, Romanticism. Question number 17. What aspects of language learning is typically neglected in the grammar translation method? Option A, cultural awareness. Option B, grammar rules. Option C, reading skills. Option D, speaking and listening skills. The correct answer is option D, speaking and listening skills. Question number 18. Which type of assessment is commonly associated with the grammar translation method? Option A, oral exams. Option B, written exams and translations. Option C, listening comprehension tests. Option D, project-based assessments. The correct option is option B, written exams and translations. Question number 19. What is the attitude towards memorization in the grammar translation method? Option A, it is discouraged. Option B, it is encouraged for vocabulary and grammatical rules. Option C, it is only used for cultural facts. Option D, it is emphasized in speaking activities. What is the attitude towards memorization in the grammar translation method? The correct answer is option B. It is encouraged for vocabulary and grammatical rules. Question number 20. What is a potential limitation of the grammar translation method? Option A, it hinders cultural understanding. Option B, it may lead to ineffective vocabulary acquisition. Option C, it is not suitable for teaching literature. Option D, it promotes communicative competence. The correct answer is option A, it hinders cultural understanding. Question number 21. What role does communication play in the grammar translation method? Option A, it is the primary focus. Option B, it is used for translation purposes only. Option C, it is encouraged for vocabulary acquisition. Option D, it is avoided. Check the correct answer. Option B, it is used for translation purposes only. Question number 22. What is the typical class format in the grammar translation method? Option A, student-led discussions. Option B, group communicative activities. Option C, teacher-centered instruction. Option D, multimedia presentations. The correct answer is option C, teacher-centered instruction. Question number 23. Which of the following is a potential advantage of the grammar translation method? Development of communicative competence. Option B, focus on real life language use. Option C, emphasis on cultural awareness. Option D, strong foundation in grammar and syntax. The correct answer is option D, strong foundation in grammar and syntax. Question number 24. In the grammar translation method, how are errors typically addressed? Option A, through peer correction. Option B, through communicative activities. Option C, through explicit correction by the teacher. Option D, errors are not addressed. The correct answer is option C, through explicit correction by the teacher. Question number 25, last question. What is the view on using authentic materials in the grammar translation method? Option A, they are essential for language learning. Option B, they are useful for cultural understanding. Option C, they are not considered necessary. Option D, they are encouraged for oral communication. What is the view on using authentic materials in the grammar translation method? The correct answer is option C, they are not considered necessary. Option C is the correct answer. Thank you for watching this video. If it's useful, you can like or comment or subscribe this channel.